So, after the last few episodes crawling around through the woods looking for cemeteries, I am back now at a proper cemetery that even has an old little church building on the property. It looks awesome. Plus it's still snowy, plus the fog has not lifted. So I got some really cool shots. But let's wander in and take a look at some of the stones that are here on the property. So this place is truly awesome, especially in the winter in the fog. Up on this hill, everything's covered with ice. There's just ice on every single tombstone. You can hear, if you just sit here in silence, you can hear the ice starting to melt because it is getting a little warmer out here, and so it's chipping off, it's falling. The branches in the trees are all frozen, so those are all breaking. You can hear the ice falling from those as well. I've gone around, I've seen a good amount of this place, but it's quite large, as you can see from the drone footage I shot. But I do want to point out a couple of things that I thought was really cool that I wanted to point out before I take off. So having everything covered in ice is quite interesting. As you can see from this one, it's just got a layer of ice on it. And the cool thing about this one is that you can see the water dripping down the stone underneath the ice, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, this one's taken a bit of damage up there. I don't know when this happened, but the urn for it is down on the ground. And I've noticed that on a bunch of the taller pillar monuments. A lot of the tops of them have broken off. I don't know if it's from this most recent storm. More than likely it is from the wind that this place must get hit with, because we are on top of a hill in the middle of nowhere. There is nothing to protect these stones from the elements, and the oldest of the stones truly show that, as you can barely read anything on them. As you can see here, there's a branch that I want to say quite recently, probably in this storm, snapped off this tree and is now lying on the ground here. The only damage I can see that was really done is to this stone bench that's right underneath the tree. Otherwise, it missed most of the other monuments. So, the other thing I want to show you about this tree is next to it you see these small stones lined up with the tree. On the other side of the tree, there's literally a stone coming out of the side. So as you can see, at some point, way in the past, this tree was planted. It was a tiny little thing, and it grew over this stone. And eventually, this stone won't even be able to be seen. I mean, you can't read it now, but you can tell there's a plot here, but it's slowly been enveloped by this tree here. And I'm going to assume there may be a chance, I don't know if there were 4 plots here, and there's already a stone inside, but it's quite interesting to think that someday this stone will be hidden from the world by this tree until this tree comes falling down. So this place is well kept for the most part. The older stones are showing their age. There are a lot of newer stones. Obviously, there's still people being buried here. But the older stones are getting a little roughed up. They're some leaning, some are broken. There's one here on the ground here that's obviously broken, and it's covered in snow and you can't really see it. And I almost stepped right on it. Thankfully, a part of it was sticking up, so I noticed it. But that's the bad part about these really old cemeteries, is the care for the stones at any cemetery you go to is generally the family's responsibility. So if they break, it's the family's responsibility to fix them, not the church, not the owner of the cemetery. And so a lot of the times the families have moved on. A lot of the families have passed away. These stones are hundreds of years old. And so the upkeep just isn't done anymore. And so they just start falling apart. They deteriorate, they fall down, and eventually are lost to time. Well, this cemetery has been awesome to discover. And it is so cold. My hands are freezing. But I love the look of this place. I love the older stones. I love the fact that I got to come here at such a awesome, probably singular time when it's completely foggy and snowy, and it's pretty awesome. So that's it for this location. It's time to hit the road, and thanks for coming along with me. Until next time, I'll see you then.